Good morning, Santa Clarita. You're listening to your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I am attorney Wade Skalsky, and this is Wade Beyond the Courtroom. Joining me on the board today is Kyle. Kyle, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Welcome to Wade Beyond the Courtroom. It's your first appearance. How are you feeling?
Yeah, well, technically, we did a little fun show before.
But that was you in charge. Now I'm in charge.
Oh,
see how that works?
That's a good point.
The tables have turned.
They certainly have
Good.
turned, yes.
So I want to start a little bit today with Wade's Week in Retrospect. I had a great time last night. I went to a brisket and karaoke party.
Two of my favorite things.
Yes, absolutely. Especially me being from the Midwest. And one thing I find with karaoke in Los Angeles is that it isn't really karaoke as much as it's professional singers deciding to sing and make other people that don't sing feel bad about themselves.
You call it the art of karaoke here in Los Angeles.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah. But the reason why I went is the Village Idiom Productions is doing an upcoming festival, and the Fringe Festival, they're doing a production. So they were doing a fundraiser. And we'll be talking about the Fringe Festival a little later in the coming months or whatever. But I was just going to go to there to support them. I feel very strongly about the Fringe Festival, and these are artists, creative people. So I went over there, and I didn't know one person. I just had found out about this on the Twitter. Have you heard about this thing?
I've heard of it, yeah.
So I have joined the Twitter. It's at Wade Skalsky. Is my Twitter handle.
Easy to remember.
That's right.
I love
right.
You're using all the good lingo, too.
I like that. Yeah. Well, the only problem is I keep other people's Twitter addresses in my physical Rolodex, which I'm not sure that's supposed to work very well.
Yeah, no, that defeats the purpose, I think.
Plus, the kids today, they mock me when I say the Twitter or the Facebook.
Or Rolodex.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's right next to my rotary phone, and I feel good about myself.
I got you.
So I just want to just give a shout out to Corey, who is, I guess, the director and one of the people over at Village Idiom Pro is their Twitter handle. And then also, too, there was a guy by the name of Gregory Kraft, who is the managing director of Theater Unleashed, and his Twitter handle is at Gregory_crafts. So they all made me feel very, very welcome there. I didn't know anyone. They did not. No one mocked anyone's karaoke. It was great.
Okay. So I have to ask you this before we get into some more important stuff. What's the go-to karaoke song?
Well, every person should have a go-to karaoke song.
I'll tell you mine after we're done here.
Are you going to trump mine then? You're going to say that's
I don't know. Maybe.
Are you going to steal my karaoke song?
Maybe.
All right.
Maybe I will.
My go-to karaoke song is Johnny Cash, Ring of Fire.
Okay, do you start it by saying, hi, I'm Wade Skalsky?
No, I get into character and I say, hi, I'm Johnny Cash.
Oh, you are Johnny Cash when you get up there.
Yes. Yeah. What's your go-to song?
I go Gangster's Paradise by Coolio.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not bad. If I see that bad boy in there.
We could do a dueling duet of Gangster's Paradise.
Yeah, we could.
And Ring of Fire.
We got to figure out someone who's musically inclined, because I am not.
I am not either.
So we got to figure out how to do a mashup there.
And what we have to do then is go do karaoke anywhere else but Los Angeles.
Yes.
So, all right, great. Well, good. Well,
East.
And in that creative theme, in terms of, we're all used to seeing things on television or in the movies. We see the finished product, right? And it always looks great. We're in the, LA is obviously the entertainment capital of the world. They know what they're doing in this place, just like people know what they're doing in karaoke when they go and sing it, because they have done it a few times. So I have two special guests in the studio today that's going to go with the theme of behind the curtain, if you will. And I have Jimmy Sprague. Jimmy Sprague, how are you doing today?
I'm well, Wade. How are you?
And I have Hannah Sprague. Hannah, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well. So, Jimmy, let's start with you. What is your official title, if you will?
Official title would be a line producer. That's
okay.
Officially. Right
now, so we're going to talk about behind the scenes, how the sausage is made, how these things come to be when we see
sexy.
movies.
I'm glad you refer to it that way.
Exactly, as TV and movies. And my question to you is, so when I am seeing the credits of a movie, I see all 500 different producers on there.
A lot of sausage there.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of parts of the sausage.
So can you lay it out for me exactly, sort of, what are the different types of producers?
Well, there's several different types. Normally, you'll see an executive producer, usually right up front, and they have to do more with either the creative process. They created the idea of the show in the first place.
Okay.
Like a Vince Gilligan, who did Breaking Bad.
Okay.
Or they are part of the money, where they brought in the funds for the show. That's how you get to be an executive producer. And then you also have producers that are the nuts and bolts kind of guys, the logistic type of people. And that's kind of where I fall in the line of a line producer. Basically, what I do is I take the money that they have for the show. Let's say it's X amount of dollars. You tell me I have $1 million to make this episode. I have to figure out how to spend $1 million very wisely to get the most production value on the screen.
So now let me stop you there. This is a job that would not be given to me since my checkbook and I don't get along in terms of balancing that bad boy.
Again, you're going back to still use a checkbook. That's part of that's
That's right.
Again, part of the problem.
Exactly.
My physical check register and I have disagreements all of the time.
Excellent.
Okay.
Well, my budgets and I have disagreements from time to time as well.
Okay.
Especially when people want to spend a certain amount of money, or different crew members want to obtain equipment or get raises or things like that, and I have to balance out between what we need to have for the show and what we want to have. Those are two very different things.
So basically, your job is sort of to oversee all of the logistics of what's happening.
That is correct. From where we're going to shoot, how we're going to shoot, the equipment that we need, the personnel that we need, where the bathrooms are, who's the caterer, how we feed these people, how do they get to set, where do they park?
And obviously, I'm assuming there's a difference between the size of each project. If you're doing a smaller project for, let's say, like a web series or something versus a giant Ron Howard movie or something like that.
Sure. When I produce Whose Line Is It Anyway, our normal crew is somewhere around 90 people a day. And I just got picked up for a new project that I'm going to be going out into Belize, where our entire crew is 6 people.
Wow. Well, great. Well, listen, when we come back from the break, we're going to talk a little bit more about Whose Line Is It Anyway? We're going to talk about the life of a line producer. You're listening to Wade Beyond the Courtroom. This is Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. Welcome back, Santa Clarita. You're listening to your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I am attorney Wade Skalsky, and this is Wade Beyond the Courtroom. So my good friend Jimmy Sprague, during the break, told me something very funny, Kyle. He said that, Wade, you think you're in charge, but Kyle has all the buttons.
No, I'm furniture, Jimmy. That's I just want you to know.
You come with the house.
Yeah, exactly.
Kyle's going to look at me, and he's going to be like, you look like you're going to cough for the next 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Mute.
So, yeah.
Good.
that button.
So, Jimmy, I'm so fascinated by this. Let's talk a little bit about, so you worked on Whose Line Is It Anyway?
I did, but I'm fascinated by the music that came in at the beginning of this. Did you choose that music? What's the genesis of that? The bed, as it were, in radiolingual.
Of I Walk the Line by Johnny
Yeah,
Cash. Well, I'm a big Johnny Cash fan, and I was... Carl and Jerry, who are the owners of the radio station, were talking about, we were trying to figure out something very, very good in terms of an intro, and I said, well, I like Johnny Cash, and then Jerry said, boom, Walk the Line. I said, yes, done, mark it off.
So basically your boss said it and you said, okay, no
Absolutely.
problem. Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't get a cough button for 25 minutes on there, so yes. No, but I actually love the song. It's my go-to karaoke song is Ring of Fire by Johnny Cash.
Right.
Yes.
So it's the whole Johnny Cash.
So I'm gonna take control of this interview
go
now,
for it.
and then I'm gonna ask you a question now, since it is Wade Beyond the
It is
Courtroom.
Wade.
No, I'm just
Beyond the
kidding.
Courtroom.
All right, so Jimmy's my good friend, and Jimmy, so I want to learn more about like Whose Line Is It Anyways? Like those are such talented people and such a large number of people. What are some of the challenges with that?
You know, when I first got the job, they brought me in, and I said, okay, you know, I'm part of the inner circle now. So you could tell me, you can level with me. Come on, we write all this stuff. We, you know, obviously we get everything done beforehand. And they said, no, absolutely not. These guys are true professionals, improv people, which is extremely difficult. It's so hard to do. And these guys are the best at it in the world. I just lost my train of thought here, but one of the things that we do...
See, they can do improv with national TV audience, and we're losing our train of thought after about 4 seconds.
Yes, well,
what was I talking about? What was I thinking? Where am I? What's happening?
I balance budgets and not anything else. But like we have a special guest every episode. We have a different person come in for the show. We literally hide that person in a different part of the studio. We do all their makeup away from the set, away from the stage, and so when these people come in onto the stage, it's the very first time that Wayne Brady or Colin or Ryan or anybody is seeing these guys. It's not like they met beforehand and had a cup of coffee and found out, you know, kind of stuff about them. Everything happens spontaneously on the stage with the cameras rolling.
Now, so Whose Line Is It Anyway? It doesn't run all year long, and so you'll end a project, and then basically there's some sort of process where you get hired onto a new project.
That's correct.
But you don't necessarily know what that's going to be all the time.
I very rarely will know what my next job is when I start.
So, for instance, right now, what's happening right now with your next job?
Well, if you had asked me this question 3 days ago, I would have told you I am as unemployed as any homeless person.
Oh, good. Okay.
But yesterday I got a job. Discovery called me. Actually, Renegade is the name of the company that produces the show for Discovery. They called me and asked me to be part of the next season of Naked and Afraid.
Oh, great.
Yes. And
Do you now, do you have to be naked during the production? Is the whole crew naked during the production?
I don't, but it does help.
Okay, good. It makes everyone feel safe in the same position.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So everybody. No, that's not really true.
Okay. So where are they? Let's move on from that immediately.
Please.
So where are they sending you to?
I will be going to Belize on this time, and fortunately, I didn't sign a non-disclosure agreement, so I'm good to talk about anything you want.
Oh, great. All right.
I don't know anything. I just started the job.
Did we just realize that we might have gotten in trouble for that?
No,
We're breaking news here on Wade Beyond the Courtroom. So
well, you're a legal person, so I wanted you to know that I'm completely putting myself at your mercy at this point.
good. Well, we're actually, as we have discovered, at Kyle's mercy on the board.
There we go.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to bring someone in. So you have someone sitting next to you. Who is this young lady next to you?
My daughter has joined us in the studio today, and she is a beautiful young lady named Hannah, and she is 9 years old.
Hannah, how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. So you have to get used to your dad being home for a long time and then suddenly getting a job and going somewhere, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So is it? Does he send you, like, you guys keep in contact when he's gone? How does that work?
It depends on how far away normally he is. If he's out on a job it depends on how long. Because if he's only out for a couple hours, then no. But if he's out for weeks instead of hours, then yes.
Okay. Now, you are also in the entertainment industry. You have worked as a stunt person, correct?
You got to talk into the mic, sweetheart.
I can see you, but no one can see you shaking your head. Now, what was you were in a movie, right? What movie were you in?
Thor.
And what did you do? What was your job as a stunt person in that?
I did a short where me and my mom ran across a street during an explosion.
Oh, that sounds really exciting. Now, I should tell Kyle that this is a very creative family. So Jimmy's.
I'm a father myself, and I don't judge how other people's parenting
You probably
styles.
should.
But I wouldn't let my kids run across the street. Now they were holding hands, though, right?
Yeah.
So
she's
that's
holding
safe.
hands with her mother as she ran across the street.
But there was different things.
And Kyle, this is movie magic. It was CGI.
The
buddy.
destroyer
All right.
was not really there.
That's
Wait a
right.
second.
It's all-
Wait a second.
I know. It's heartbreaking to learn.
The movies are not real, my
Wait a
friend.
second.
Some of them
Okay.
not.
My son's going to be devastated by the way.
But all
if he's
reality
listening.
shows are.
That's right.
Every bit of
Every
a reality
bit
show
is-
is 100% real.
Exactly.
All of them.
Exactly. Now, and Jimmy's wife, Dorinda, is a Emmy-winning stunt coordinator. So, very creative family, and I love talking with them about these behind the. I can't talk. I'm so
Is she
stunned
just
by
constantly? Does she jump off the balcony to get out? All right, honey, I'm going to the store, and then just like
It's an interesting dynamic that we have, because if we get into a fight, I can beat her up, light her on fire, and throw her off the roof.
Oh, there you go.
We call it training. But no, she is actually the cool one in the family. There's no doubt. I'm third place. My wife is the coolest one. Hannah's number 2 right there next to her, and I'm like a distant 5th behind my 2 dogs.
Oh.
But so no, Dorinda has won an Emmy. She's the only female to ever win a stunt coordination Emmy. There's
That's cool.
No other females. A couple have been nominated, but she's the only one that's ever won one.
We're going to have her come into Wade Beyond the Courtroom one of these days, but she's kind of hardcore, so in order for her to come in, I have to grade a stunt on YouTube for it. So I think I'm going to jump into the back of my truck from maybe like a step ladder or something like that.
Attaboy.
Yeah, it'll be good. So we'll get her in here. But so let's talk a little bit more about some of the interesting places that you've been. Now, you have the most envious the Facebook feed I've ever seen. Like one time I was sitting there and I had a picture of you in Iceland, of all places.
I have been to Iceland, yes, sir.
Where are some of the other places that you've been?
Where I've shot, as opposed to being a tourist.
Yes.
I've shot in Ireland. I have shot in Thailand. I have shot in Iceland and in Greece. I'm going to Belize next week. I've been all over the country. I was on the Up and Smoke tour with Dr. Dre and Eminem and Snoop, and that was kind of fun. And so that was I was on the road for 9 weeks with them.
Now, before we move on, did you sign a non-disclosure agreement for that with Snoop and that tour?
Allegedly.
Well, then we must move on.
Okay.
But we'll be talking
I
at the...
I was going to say we can extend this to an hour.
That's right.
Easily. It can go more than that. I was also in India. I shot over there. So I've been very blessed. I mean, it sounds kind of sexy, but the truth is that it's hard. It's hard work. I'm on location, not vacation.
Great. Well, listen, when we come back from the break, I hear there's an interesting India story that we're going to be able to talk about. This is Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. I am attorney Wade Skalsky, and this is Wade Beyond the Courtroom. Welcome back, Santa Clarita. You're listening to your hometown station, AM 1220 KHTS. I am attorney Wade Skalsky, and this is Wade Beyond the Courtroom. Now, Jimmy, we're talking with line producer Jimmy Sprague, some of his world travels producing shows. When you were in India, you were telling me that actually, like physically, you had some impact to that.
Well, India is a tough place to go. Just in general, for an American go, the food is interesting over there. The environment's interesting. You have to be careful of the water that you drink, and just brushing your teeth or taking a shower, that kind of thing. Your body's not used to it. Even people who are from India that have lived here in America, if they go back, they have a lot of trouble adjusting and adapting. Just to their bodies. While I was there, I lost 22 pounds, and we went with 14 people. And 13 of them actually got sick, and I had to hospitalize 4 of them. So,
wow!
I mean, it's pretty legit when you get over there. It's a tough environment to be in. We were in more of the jungles of India rather than like in the city.
Okay.
And so we were having to adjust to that as well. So there's a lot of it was a dangerous environment. There's a lot of snakes out there. It was a tough environment. We had to go across rivers to get to our shooting locations, stuff like that.
Well, and you were also telling me when you were in Alaska for a shoot, you had a big bear problem up there.
Yeah, there's lots of bears in Alaska. We had them coming onto the set on many occasions. We actually had armed security with us every step of the way. Every shooting team had a security officer with a gun.
Every shooting team had a shooting team?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. In fact, they actually did have to unfortunately, for their protection, kill a bear on one of the days. It was really unfortunate, but our crew was very important to us. We don't want to.
Well, of course, yeah, and that's, I guess, we ostensibly are a legal show, so we should talk about some legal issue today.
Sure.
I'm sure that's sort of an insurance issue. You've got all sorts of insurance policies everywhere. Are you in charge of that? Is someone else in charge of that?
Well, I'm in charge of putting all the information together for the production and giving it over to the insurance company, and then I'll feed back. They'll have questions. They'll have what are the crew going to do on a particular day? Do you start during the day, during the night?
Right.
What are the local environments like? What precautions are you putting in place? Is there a set medic? That kind of thing. And they want to know all that information, and I'm the person that has to funnel all that information to them, yes.
In that way, you're sort of acting like a lawyer acts, because when someone comes to us with a case or they have a situation that they want us to deal with, we have to sort of think out of the box what could happen, all the way from, well, what if a meteor strikes, to, what if the water source goes bad or something, So the meteor strike one might not be quite as far as we go, but I have thought about it, actually.
Yeah.
So,
or if Bigfoot shows up.
I have a case of Ensure in my house, and like 2 or 3 bottles of water for that eventuality. So
That'll last a long time.
I think I'm prepared.
That's good.
Now, so how long is this project going to last that you're going to in Belize for?
I'll be over there for about 4 weeks. Right now, they've only hired me for 1 episode. If they turn around and get a second episode approved while I'm over there, they'll probably send me directly from Belize to that new country, and I'll start up again, and I'll be gone for another 4 weeks.
So it takes 4 weeks to shoot 1 episode?
On this particular show, yes. On some shows, Whose Line Is It Anyway, we get 3 or 4 shows out of 1 night of filming, of 2 or 3 hours of filming. Yet when you're doing a car makeover show, it could take as many as 7, 8, 9 weeks just to simply make over the car, plus the other filming time.
I find that so interesting, and I think a great thing about what you do is it's so varied.
Yeah.
You're in a different location, you're in a different amount of time that it may take, you're dealing with all sorts of different people. Does that help to keep it fresh?
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's a different challenge. Every show is a different challenge. On this particular show, on Naked and Afraid, we're going to be out there for 21 days, assuming that the contestants make it all 21 days. And as opposed to maybe shooting 1 episode a week on a scripted show like Kamen Rider that I did.
Now, if someone wanted to become a line producer, what's sort of the career path for that, or is there one?
Well, you generally start in the office. There's a lot of production jobs that are out there. Some are on set where the cameras are, where the lights are, where the actors are. And there's office jobs where I am, where we need to put together the permits, and we need to do all the office work, the logistical work, so that the team on the camera side has a place to go the next day. And normally, if somebody wants to become a line producer, they start in the office. They're an office PA, a production assistant, or an office coordinator, an assistant coordinator, and they start working their way up into the office and kind of gaining experience from that.
So they give them all the jobs that everyone else does not want to do, while everyone else is going to Belize.
Exactly.
That sounds like a great system. Kyle, I think, can I have you do something and then I go to Belize?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to Carl and Jerry.
We should.
We could do maybe go with Jimmy, and you could do on location.
I could do a Wade Beyond the Courtroom.
Beyond the courtroom.
Yeah, really beyond the courtroom.
Way beyond the Wade.
That would be good.
I like it.
That would be good. Now, and how long have you been a line producer?
About 21 years now, I've been working as a line producer. I've been involved in the movie industry closer to 25, 26 years. But about 4 years in, I started line producing.
Now, have you ever thought about maybe producing something yourself, like a personal project?
I have, but the truth is that I'm very, very good at what I do, and there are people who are better than me at the creative side of it, and I'd rather let them be creative, and I'd rather focus on what I do best.
There must be such a huge sense of satisfaction starting with a project from scratch and then seeing the finished product on TV or in the theater, knowing that without you, that could not have happened.
Absolutely, it really is a full team effort to get something off the ground and gone. Kamen Rider was a show that we did. That's the one where Dorinda had actually won the Emmy on that, and that was a true. Okay, here's a comic book. Now let's make 40 episodes out of that and turn that into an actual television series. That was a real tough one right from the beginning.
Well, I'm so impressed by the sort of all the moving parts that you have to put together. I can also say that you have a very organized household when I go over to your house.
I do my best, yes.
That's right. So you bring those skills from your workplace to your home, and I'm assuming that you don't use the Twitter or a Rolodex. Do you have a Twitter handle?
I do not have a Twitter handle. I just don't.
I'm sorely disappointed in you.
Well, I'm not the cool guy in front of the microphone all the time.
If I have a Twitter handle at Wade Skalsky, and I have a physical Rolodex as my organizational material, you should at least get one.
Well, I don't have a Rolodex. I do have things like, a computer, and I do put all my contacts in there in my iPhone.
Good. Well, listen, I have to thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming into the studio today, Jimmy, and the talented Hannah. We had such a great time. You're listening to Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM 1220, KHTS. I am attorney Wade Skalsky. This is Wade Beyond the Courtroom. Stay safe, Santa Clarita, and we'll talk soon.